This is the continuation of topic 12-4, solving systems of equations using matrices. So we're going on to the next problem 3. You will see that our equations are in standard form. Both equations are. Let's talk about the numbers that are in front of the x. There's a negative, but there's an understood that's -1. The number in front of the y is a 1. In our second equation, we have a 2x, and then again a number in front of the y to 1, so a -1 we'll see as a -1. Notice how in example 3 that summative things have been taken out. So we have not labeled what these matrices are. So let's go ahead and label. That first matrix is A. The second matrix is our unknowns, our x and our y. And the last matrix we're going to call B because those are the constants that we're putting in. I also want you to get into the habit of just going ahead and write. To get that unknown, we're taking A, raise it to the -1, multiplying it times B. So let's fill in our matrix. Matrix A, we want to put in the coefficients to our x and our y's. So from our first equation, coefficient of x is 1, coefficient of y is 1. Coefficient of x is -1, sorry. Our second equation, the coefficient of x is 2, the coefficient of y is -1. Our unknowns are always x and y. Those are two variables that we're dealing with. And then last, what are the numbers that we are trying to reach, or our answers? It's equal to -4 and 11. Again, you notice that in our equation we have an equal sign. When we're dealing with our matrices, we have an equal sign. So our next step is to get the x by itself. And what we have in our next set of matrices is just another way of writing the equation so that we're solving for our unknown. So we do want our unknowns by themselves. This first matrix is our x and our y. That's equal to, we have our a to the -1 and then our b. So let's fill in our a. This is -1, 1, 2, -1. B is -4 and 11. So now we want to input our information. First, we need to figure out what are the dimensions for our matrices. Matrix A has 2 rows and 2 columns. Matrix B has 2 rows and 1 column. So now we can input our matrices into the calculator. So step 1 was making sure that the equations are in standard form. Yes, they are. Step 2, we hit second, and then the x to the -1 to get to matrices. We're going to go over to edit and choose number 1 so we can put in matrix A. Matrix A is already a 2 by 2. The good thing for us is that typically that is all we're going to be dealing with in this class. So we can just press enter. And now we want to input our numbers in. So our new matrix A is -1. I press enter. Notice it's going along the row. So then I press 1, press enter. Now on the second equation, we'll press 2, press enter, and then -1 and press enter. Remember, if you do not press enter, notice the number that's in our matrix. I haven't pressed enter yet, so I still have that number from the last matrix. Make sure you're pressing enter after each one. That's what step 5 tells us. I'm sorry, step 6 tells us. Type the numbers and press enter after every entry. Now we have to go to matrix B. So again, we're going to hit second and then the x to the -1. And now I want to edit matrix B, which is number 2. It is a 2 by 1. We do not have to change the dimensions. However, we do need to change the numbers. So -4, press enter, and then 11, press enter. Now we're going to exit out by hitting second mode. Now that we've exited out, we need to type in the a to the -1b. So I'm going to hit second x to the -1 and just choose 1 for a. Hit the x to the -1 to get it raised to the -1 power. Now we'll go to second matrix, and now we want b. And now we're going to press enter, and we should get our matrix and tells us what x and y are equal to. So this comes out equal to 7, 3. That tells us x is equal to 7, y is equal to 3. So the solution is the 0.73. Number 4, you have something totally blank. Now it is up to you to write your steps again. First thing we're going to write is a little cheat. It says x is equal to a to the negative 1 b. That's a reminder. So first, let's set up matrix A. Take the number in front of the coefficient. So my first equation is 3 and negative 1. Second equation, 2 and 1 is in front of the y. Our x is going to be our unknowns. Our unknowns are x and y. Equal to, that's our matrix B, and that is going to be 7 and 3. So to get x and y by itself, our unknowns, we're going to take matrix A, which is the 3, 2, negative 1, 1, raise it to the negative 1 power, and then write matrix B, 7, 3. On this problem, minimum amount of work you can show would be just this step here. You don't necessarily have to set up A and B initially, but if you show me that step, that shows me you know what to type in for A and you know what to type in for B. Other students have also put matrices around your equations so you can also see how to set them up for you. Okay, our last thing is to actually type these matrices in. So first we must actually type them in. So we'll hit second and then the matrix button. We want to edit, scroll over, choose number 1 for A. Our dimensions are still a 2 by 2, and now our numbers are 3, negative 1, 2, and 1. Remember, hit enter, and we need to check. Let me check, make sure my numbers are correct. Now I'm going to hit second matrix again and edit. We want to edit B now. It is a 2 by 1. We're changing the numbers. It is now 7 and 3. Checking the numbers, making sure they're okay. Second, quit. We get out of there. Now I'm going to show you a little shortcut. Instead of going through and finding matrix A and matrix B, what we can do is hit the second button and then enter. If you look above enter, you'll see entry, and it types in what is the very last thing you typed in. So you don't have to go through that process again. And that gives us matrix A to the negative 1 times B. Let's press enter, and we get that x and y is equal to 2, negative 1. So when these multiply, we end up with 2, negative 1. Top number is our x-coordinate, bottom number is our y-coordinate. And so the point that is on both of those lines is 2, negative 1. Now right now it seems like a lot of work because we're still practicing, but for some this will become a lot faster than having to solve for y and then graphing. So it gives you the advantage that you do not have to solve for y when your answers are in standard form. If your equations are in standard form. If your equations are already in slope-intercept form where y is by itself, then by all means, you can use your calculator to graph those and calculate the intersection. So let's complete our summary. How do we solve systems of equations using matrices? Well, first thing we had to make sure is that our equations are in standard form. This method does not work if your equations are not in standard form. So make sure equations are in standard form. Then we're going to set up our matrices. We want matrix A. We want matrix X, our unknowns, and they equal to matrix B. Then we input the matrices into the calculator. Using the steps, we're going to just put that. And then we're going to use our calculator. Typing in our unknown is equal to matrix A to the negative 1 times matrix B. And this will find the values of X and Y. This concludes the topic 12-4.